There's only one mic. I guess you can throw your voice across the room though. So how did you get involved in this project?
I got involved through, I've known Carol Morley for probably about 6 or 7 years now. I'd seen The Alcohol Years. I don't know, it's a brilliant documentary that she did. And I just thought, God, this is brilliant. And then I got a phone call from my agent. And at the same time, I'd just been offered 3 episodes of Doctor Who, which my agent was really excited about. And she said, oh, and by the way, I'm just telling you, this woman's got in touch called Carol Morley, wants you to do a short film where it clashes with Doctor Who. And I said, I'm doing the short film, you can stick Doctor Who. So I went and did this film called Madness of the Dance with Carol. I just think she's brilliant. I think she's a real sort of auteur. So I did that, and then we did another short film. And then I kept saying to her, when are you going to do a feature that I can be in? And then this came up, and we improvised it about a year before, me and Paul Hilton, because me and Paul at the time, we were playing the West End, and she came to see it. And originally she wanted Jarvis Cocker to play that part with Carol. And then she came to see the play and went, oh, he's quite like Jarvis Cocker, he can be in it. So Paul said, was agreed to it. So we went to the Ibis in East London and improvised all the different characters. We played different ones, and Carol basically followed us around with a video camera, knelt on our chest. I mean, we were, she locked us in this room for about 3 days. And then from that, she sort of put the script together and then cast it. And she did it all off her own back, all her own money. Her and Cairo, her partner, who's a producer as well, are just amazing. I just think they're really inspirational. We need more people like that. So
was the story, as you say, improvising, was the story pretty free-form to start off with?
Well, Carol had the idea of a hotel and based on the 7 Deadly Sins. So she'd got, and sort of loose characters. She sort of, it was originally more of a failed rock star who'd been big at one time with his girlfriend, and they'd gone there to basically split up. And then an older character, and then the 2 youngsters. And then from there, she'd already got sort of the themes of it from that, and then sort of did the script from there.
What is the theme? Is it about just lost people sort of coming together?
I think that, like I said, the 7 Deadly Sins. I can't remember which one's which now. It was a while ago.
They still in there?
But I think, there's sloth and there's greed, and she's done, but I couldn't quite tell you.
Get that bit.
Do you want, no, I don't know if anybody can tell me. But so that was a theme, and she'll probably go on Skype and completely blow it away and say what she's talking about. She's made it up. But so they're in there, but subtly. So.
Yeah, well, I guess it started out and just wandered into something else.
Yeah.
So what was your take on it when you started improvising it? How did you see it?
Yeah, it was just brilliant. I mean, because Carol's just, I don't know, she just lets you get on with it. She's just really supportive, and she's so sort of creative. And so when we were just improvising, we didn't really know what we were doing. I mean, basically, I shouldn't really say this, we got stoned in a hotel room and she filmed it. I got my mum's dead. Anyway, she sort of filmed that, and she just let us do stuff that, you wouldn't, although she kept, we'd have sex, and we're going, Carol, that's not the kind of movie we're making. Like that. So we didn't have sex. Paul's wife will be pleased to know. And then just from the film, when we got there, and she went, right, who do we want in it? And we got Marjorie, who I absolutely adore, Marjorie Yates, who was in Shameless with me. Anna, she found for casting. Anna's quite a big presenter. She's like this morning's Poland's this morning's answer presenter. You know what I mean? So she's quite. I think she had a bit of a shock when she arrived to the way we film over here. You know what I mean? It's just done on no budget, and there's a sarnie and a bottle of beer for your lunch. And she was took her a while, but then she got into it eventually. Paul I've known, and then Joe and Nicola I know, and then friend Keeley, who works that's my best friend, Keeley. He's just about to have a baby, works in the canteen. So Carol just got people on that she liked, and we just sort of let it flow, really. There was no sort of structure to it, because she shoots, there's not big close, which is brilliant. She'll shoot a big wide scene, there's no big close-ups, and you know, so we rattled through it really.
Was it improvised to a certain extent when you filmed it, or was it
No.
all scripted up by then?
No, she'd sort of scripted it that way, but she just we'd do it and she'd go, oh, just get rid of that, and we'd go, Carol, do we need this speech? And to be honest, we stripped a lot of the dialogue down in the end. She said, you don't really need to say anything in this scene. It was, oh, brilliant, that's what a lot of actors want to hear, you know, so...
I like films where nothing happens for ages.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first half of the film was great because it was just so kind of dark and quite empty and had great atmosphere to the tension. I mean, is that how it was like done?
Yeah, it was, and it was just, she just pointed the camera at us and just go, okay, go. And we just felt we weren't acting in a way. I mean, it might not look like that, I don't know, but we were just allowed to sort of do it organically. There was no faster, quicker, do it like that, look over there, get your light. It was just go, and then she shot it. And it was very rare that we did more than one take. She just sort of, and then she just sort of, bits of improvisation at the end, she just keep going, you know, so we just, and I think because we all knew each other, there was a real, you know, we're all very comfortable and a bit of a free hand, you know, is it free hand, do you say that word?
Yeah, you can say that.
You know, with us, so.
I like the way it switched from being quite dark to quite funny within, you know, like 2 seconds, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think that's sort of Carol. I think that's Carol. I mean, yeah, because it's like when you watch Alcohol Years. I remember watching Alcohol Years, and then when I said I'd do the short film, I arranged to meet her in a cafe and so on. I remember being petrified because I thought this quite intense, sort of slightly messed up woman would enter, and you know, and then Carol came in, and she's like, you know, well, we'll see her on Skype, but she's the most positive, out there, fun, you know, person. You sort of go, God, that's all going on in your head. So she can see the irony of it all and the humour and everything, you know.
So where was it actually filmed? It looks like
it was
the
filmed,
bleakest place in Britain.
It was, but it's about to fall off the cliff. It shut now, that hotel, because that's why Carol had been, her and partner Carol had been walking one day. And it's Burling Gap near Eastbourne. And they were walking along and they stopped to have a coffee in the coffee shop. And Carol just went, oh, this is it, this is where I want to film it. So she decided, and they said, well, to be honest, you better hurry up because in 5 years it's not going to be here, it's slowly falling off the cliff. So that was really even more exciting for Carol. And actually it's shut down now. But it was hilarious. I mean, we couldn't stay there. We stayed in some holiday cottages up the road because it was grim. It was grim. I mean, and we got snowed in. We had to get the Coast Guard out to get us. We had tractors taking us to and from set. You know what I mean? It was a bit, and because the snow we didn't intend that snow. It was just a fluke, really. So I just thought it worked beautifully. Actually, it made
it's like a lot of things have fallen into place.
It felt like that. Yeah, I think the last couple of days they had to get a snow machine in just to sort of. You know, because they thought, what are we going to do? It started thawing, but it was that winter when, it's about 2 years ago when it was really bad, you know, so that was when we did it. Lots of people got stuck there, you know.
Stuck there, well, for 5 years, then you thought we'd see.
Yeah, exactly.
So what did you think of the character when you were, what did you bring to that character?
I don't know, Carol said, right, okay, we're not having a costume designer, so she took me down Brick Lane and just went, buy stuff. So I literally went into the thrift shops, do you call them thrift shops? I don't know, overpriced second-hand shops on Brick Lane and just picked up various things that I thought, you know, I'd wear, and Carol was, you know, she was like, yeah, great, so that was it. And literally one costume, and actually when I went in the seat, it did shrink, I don't know if they noticed, but the jacket cost from about 30 minutes. There was no continuity. And that's what she did with everybody. She just said, I'll come with you, buy your costumes. And so that was great, you'd be able to, you know, you just couldn't start your own character from that basis.
How much did you bring to character? You say you were improvising before. I mean, was it quite a dark character to begin with, or did you kind of add the darkness in there?
No, I think it was quite a dark character to begin with. I think every element, every character in there's got a bit of Carol in. I think with most writers, good writers, there's an element of Carol in everybody, you know. And she based a lot of people, a lot of the characters well on people that she knew, you know. So, yeah.
How important was it for everything to resolve itself at the end? Because it does resolve for everybody.
Yeah. I don't know. To be honest, I like films where it doesn't, where you're left a bit like, oh, what happens? Because then it's to your imagination. You know what I mean? It's left to your imagination then. And so, yeah. But is it resolved? Where do I go? You know, I'm walking off, but you know, nobody really knows what happens to everybody.
You didn't push your friend off a cliff.
That's good. Yeah, but whether I can carry on. You know, she carries on her life you know, I'll just, when he's gone, she goes and chucks herself back in the sea in the horse.
Maybe it's important for Carol to have it resolved at the end. Was she saying she wants everything to work itself out?
It was just how the script sort of came, and I don't think we really discussed about it being sort of resolved. We didn't discuss about then what happened. We didn't sort of go, and it is resolved, and where do they go off into the future? Carol just left us. We sort of filmed it in the moment and didn't really talk about what will happen afterwards, or a lot about what's happened before. She sort of gave us the script, the information. I got the scrapbook with all the bits and pieces in, you know, and she gave me a brief plotted history of the story with Ellie and a friend, and then she's got left us to it. So
it's a very English film, isn't it?
yeah, I think so. It doesn't. Yeah, I suppose it is, but then again, it doesn't feel. I think it's quite ambling, and it's, you know, the story's. I don't know. It has got a little bit more of a foreign feel. Not foreign, I don't think that's all right. I don't know. I suppose it's just a little bit more art house, I think.
Yeah, but we made very good kind of bleak films. Well.
Yeah.
No glamour in them at all.
No, because when Carol was pitching it to film companies, they went, "Oh, not another film in a hotel. You know, people meeting in a hotel. It's been done to death. I'm not interested, thank you." You know, and then, you know, but now, you know, but then she had that with Dreams of a Life, and then look what happened. I mean, she had a fantastic success with the next film after that. After this, you know. So.
One of the great things about this film is virtually one building for the whole film right to the end.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the claustrophobia of it.
Yeah, and we built the room is everybody's hotel room is the same room. It was built in the dining room of the hotel so they could film, and the wallpaper they just used to peel. It was like peel off wallpaper, so then it'd be somebody else's room then. So because the rooms were that grotty and small. It's not from the hotel. Oh, it's shut down anyway now. So they did a build within the dining room of the hotel. So that's where the rooms were.
Wow, they were too grotty to look like grotty rooms.
Yeah, they were too. Yeah, but people would have gone, no, that's too much. You know what I mean?
So what do the people in the hotel think? They think, oh, that's brilliant, we're going to film. Or do they realise that the hotel we picked because it just looked so crap?
I think they were bothered. I think they were just felt it was being run into the ground. I think they were quite glad to have us there because we were there on, you know, regularly. And it was a bit odd. We'd be sat in the bar having a drink, and then somebody'd just sort of wander in on their own, sit down and have a drink, and then wander off. And you'd go, oh my God, they're going, you know what I mean? And there was an incident actually. Carol will tell you about it. There was an incident where they got the Coast Guard out because somebody was up. Walked onto the cliff because they don't normally let you film down there because it's, you know, it's dangerous really, and they feel it's encouraging people to commit suicide if there's films about it. So we were quite lucky. There's a certain point you couldn't film, so we had to come a bit further down. But the Coast Guard, like I said, the two Coast Guard guys were with us a lot of the time, making sure, you know. But Carol would have had us stood out on the edge if she could have got away with it.
So somebody's actually going to commit suicide while you're making the film?
There was some incident, asked Carol, I think, I don't know if Darren wasn't there, but you did get a few people, you know, just lone people coming in the bar drinking, having one drink, and you've always kept thinking, is that pint of Dutch courage? And then they're off, you know. Everybody came like a potential suicide sort of victim, you know. We got slightly paranoid about it.
So the film was pretty true to life.
Yeah, I think, you know, in that area, I mean, it's notorious for, you know, for suicides and that stretch of the coastline. So
what other projects you got on at the moment then? You're in town, you're acting tonight?
Yeah, I've been on tonight this afternoon at the Royal Exchange. And then I've got 5 weeks off, and then I go to Dublin to do a film called Run and Jump, another and it's not, Run and Jump, but it's not that. It's not, this time I do it! It's a bit different. A bit more of a romantic comedy, but again, low budget. I only get jobs in low budget. Don't Chris. So,
what about working with Carol again as plans to do with
well,
the
I told her I've got to. I was a bit disappointed when Dreams of a Life, there was nothing for me in that. I was a bit upset with her about that. But yeah, we keep talking about another, I'd love to work with her again. You know, I don't know, I think, you know, when you just find somebody that I get you. I just love her work. I think she's really brave and she's so dedicated to what she does, and she could have done more, but everyone really wants, you know, it's like anything, try and make a film, and as a woman trying to make a film, it's so difficult.
Is the film industry like that then?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. And Carol will tell you some of the tales. I mean, it's horrendous. For the amount of money she got, a tiny amount for Dreams of a Life, what sort of hoops she had to jump through. And I think, you know, I don't want to be, but I think it's being a female filmmaker, and that people really pushing her to go in a completely different direction. And and it's about holding your ground. And there were times when she was devastated by it all, but I just testament to her to say I'm sticking to what I believe in, and it's like all great filmmakers. I think you stick like that. It feels like nothing's happening for years, and everybody's against you. And then the next thing, everybody wants you, and everybody wants to make a film with you. And I think that's what will happen with. Well, I know that's what will happen with Carol. She's on that trajectory now. So
even after the success of the last film, it was still difficult to get the money to make this film.
Yeah, well, this one was impossible. I mean, like I said, we've got a guy called Tyrone Morley who owns the Genesis in Mile End Cinema, and he used to be a builder, and then always went to cinema, bought the Genesis in Mile End, did it up, and then said to Carol, right, you want to make a film, I want to produce, I'll give you... So he gave us the money, or gave them the money to make this film. And now he wants to do more sort of art house, British art house movies, he wants to get into that. And then with Dreams of a Life, Carol's film after this, she has got, she did get film, I think she got film for, but, small pots of money. And then obviously everybody's now saying, oh, she's brilliant, but it took her a long time, and they really wanted to pull it apart. And she got they spent more money on the online section of it, some online game linked to the film, than she got to make the entire film. And you think, what's that about? You know what I mean? It's like that makes you feel a bit sick, really. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they think that's where it's going, but it's not. If anybody's seen Dreams of a Life, it's not a film that you would link with an online game. You know what I mean? I don't know anyway. Like I say, Carol will probably explain a bit more articulate.
So what was it like being in probably one of the most unerotic sex scenes in a film?
Paul, those were his own.
Had he been wearing them all week?
I think he had, actually, yeah. No, it was funny. And I've known Paul for years, so it was a bit... We were both a bit like, oh, well, yeah, all right. We've worked together a few times, but I think it's the first time. I played Jesus. He played Jesus. I did a play with him in the West End. He played Jesus, and I played a suicidal 30-year-old virgin. Again, well, we didn't get it on then, but anyway, so yeah, it was fun. And Carol let it probably run on longer than it should have done. Well, can we stop now, Carol? We're not going to have sex. Can we stop this?
Okay, take a couple of questions. Has everybody got a question?
Yeah, just following on from the long johns. They were white.
You've got long johns on.
I have actually. Black ones. That's not the question though. But I just point out that he definitely wasn't wearing those white ones all week. If you know what I mean. Anyway. But just a bit serious question actually. You're talking about the 7 deadly sins, sort of the seed of the idea that inspired the story for the film. You were saying that you were hoping someone in the audience could tell you. Right, I can't, but I don't think anybody else can. But the theme that I thought was the strong theme, that there were 3, and it was a film made by a woman, but there were the 3 very, very stricken female characters in that film, weren't there? And they were all saved by complete strangers. I just wondered if anybody else had any ideas about that. Is that sort of made...
Has that got a question mark on the end, or...?
Kind of.
Do you want to...
I wonder if anybody can enlarge on that. Never really enlarge on that theme. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I should pop, sorry. Yeah, they were all saved by complete strangers. But I don't know what... you'll have to ask Carol, really, more about that theme. Sure. But I do think that lots of the themes... I don't know, you'll see now if you ever watch Alcohol Years, which I recommend you to get. And then, because her brother is Paul Morley, the music journalist and writer, and his book Nothing, and if you read that, there's lots of themes, they lost, and I'm not saying anything that's not in the general domain, public domain, but they lost their father, he's committed suicide when, I think Carol was 11, and Paul was a bit older. And I think that theme runs through, suicide runs through a lot of Carol's work, and I don't think particularly maudlin, but it's obviously something that's affected her and mental health and things like that, so...
I was thinking that was watching the film, because I knew about that, and it's,
yeah.
You can see, and obviously because the kids don't commit suicide, but I thought it's an obvious that was too obvious, but there's other, you could feel it in there, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of little questions about life and death in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, and I think that's probably something, that's very prevalent in Carol's work, and obviously something that, you know, she constantly exploring, which you can, you know, understand. I mean, that's what we all do, whatever form of art we do, don't we? It's something about trying to answer questions about yourself, aren't you? Or, you know, so I think that's what she, you know, maybe, and she'll probably say, what's she talking about? That's not true at all. So.
Yeah. So, any one more question?
What particularly made you want to work with Carol in this film?
Just because I'd seen Alcohol Years and meeting her, and I don't know, I just got a real instinct. I just thought she was special. There was something about her work that was very special. I'm not, you know, this was the first attempt at a feature, and it was done really low budget, and I mean, it was Cairo, it was a partner and a producer. It was just, I mean, I don't know if she did it, she completely ran the shit. I mean, I've been on film sets that, you know, you've had 7 producers and executive producers, and, you know, it all goes tits up and nobody can cope with it, but Cairo was just, she's New England, America, she's, you know, doesn't take any prisoners. But I just inspired by her, just being a woman and, you know, pushing through with her vision of what she wants to do. And I just thought that's the kind of work, I mean, because I suppose people see me doing quite commercial sort of stuff, but really, you know, I could have my dream come true. I'd rather be doing.
So this kind of felt like
this is the sort of stuff.
Yeah,
and it's very freeing, because you've not got big, you know what I mean, you've not got execs saying, oh no, she can't wear a pink top into your hair, you've got to cut her hair, and you know what I mean, and she can't, there was nobody telling anybody what they can and can't do, you know, so, yeah.
It's cool. I think that's it. Well, thanks to Maxine for coming down.
Thank you.